Expendables 2, and holy crap, it's a wicked action picture. If you like action, you're really gonna love this movie. Action movies nowadays, I think, are more like thrillers. I know people like the sort of the Bourne movies, and they think that they're action movies. To me, those are more thriller movies. This is more in tune with what I remember, and I hate to say that it's an old school action picture because it makes it sound like Expendables 2 is like old and crappy, but back in the day, like back in the 80s, action pictures were more about celebrating violence, no matter how irresponsible that was, and also very male-oriented, which nowadays comes across as crass and anti, like, female, sort of misogynist, but Expendables 2 is still, like, a lot of fun. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, they're all in this. Jean-Claude Van Damme's the villain. Can't forget Chuck Norris, he's awesome. He turns up midway through the movie, and I thought, like, and he comes and goes, and I thought that after that, that was the last we're going to see of him, but he comes back in the end. All the big stars come back in the end for the grand finale and mow down a bunch of people. Lots of great inventive gags, which is missing from movies, and no shaky cam, but gags such as you know, shooting people in an X-ray and throwing people against trees and stuff. There's a lot of cool visuals if you're into that kind of thing in action pictures. The audience we were with when we saw it was laughing at every ridiculous thing, just enjoying themselves, and Chuck Norris says one of the jokes from his Chuck Norris joke books and stuff, and Van Damme is really cool as the villain. He took a two-dimensional character that was basically called Villain, I think they pronounce it Villain or something, and made him nuanced with just the way he says things. At one point he talks about taking plutonium. In the movie, he mines plutonium and stuff, and he tries to sell it. And he says, "Oh, 6 pounds of plutonium can change the balance of the planet. I wonder what 6 tons will do." And then he starts to laugh, and he says, "It's very interesting." And you don't really see villains actually think and ponder in movies, so he really did a lot with the performance. The crux of the film is basically one of the Expendables gets shot by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Well, not shot, sorry. He gets killed by Jean-Claude Van Damme in a very creative way, which shows off Van Damme's high-kicking prowess. And that character is really developed, and actually you really feel it when he dies. He's developed as though like the character was going to live on in the movie, but I like the way they did that. He has a backstory and everything, and then when Stallone takes it upon himself to take revenge, like avenge that person's death, you really understand why. So it's great from start to finish. It's wall-to-wall action. I mean, there are some small scenes where the mercenaries that work for Stallone's character kibitz and stuff, and that was really cool too. It was nice to see the guys kind of bond, like some male bonding stuff going on. You don't really see that in movies when they're hanging out or when they're hiding out or something like that, or making coffee or something. You'll see what I mean when you watch the picture. And another thing too about Expendables 2 is that it really goes back to that 80s style of making everything sort of like an icon. Like in the 80s, they tried to make everything unique, and you know, the villains look like they were unique. In this movie, the villains all have a tattoo, so you know they're all part of the same gang, like a devil tattoo, and they're part of some gang called the Sangs. And the Expendables themselves all look unique in and of themselves. And in the beginning of the movie, they have these vehicles that look like something out of the old G.I. Joe toy line, like with retractable guns and battering rams and things, and little sayings on the little weapons that they have in the vehicles, like the battering ram says "knock knock" and stuff like that. So Expendables 2 is just a fun action picture. There aren't very many like it nowadays. Everything wants to be serious and sort of like a taut thriller rather than an action movie. So check it out.